2:31, and this begins the opening of the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. And so thank you everyone for being here
Recording
today.
in progress.
Now I have to start all over again. So, Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll call?
Yes. Directors McCarthy Olmsted. Present. Martian.
Present.
Sloan. Present. Riley.
Present.
Brown.
Present.
Middleton. Gatewood.
Yep.
Papineau.
Here.
Nava.
Here.
Spees.
Present.
Hackett-Little.
Here.
And Discala.
Present.
And we do have our quorum.
All right.
Fantastic. And let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. And I'll ask our Vice Chair, Ryan Brown, if he would lead us, please.
Thank you so much, Chair. Please place your hand over your heart and the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you much, good sir. And if I could ask the clerk to please read the Metro replay statement and the meeting announcement, please.
Yes, absolutely. This meeting of the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission is live and recorded with closed captioning. It is cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast and DirecTV UVerse cable systems. It is also live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting replays Saturday, September 21st at 3 p.m. on Metro Cable Channel 14. Once posted, the recording of this meeting can be viewed on demand at youtube.com/Metro Cable 14. And the county fosters public engagement during the meeting and encourages public participation, civility, and use of courteous language. The Commission does not condone the use of profanity, vulgar language, gestures, or other inappropriate behavior, including personal attacks or threats directed towards any meeting participant. Seating may be limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. To make an in-person public comment, please complete and submit a speaker request form to the clerk, and each individual will be invited to the podium to make a comment. Members of the public may send a written comment, which is distributed to the Commission members and filed in the record. Contact information is optional and should include the meeting date and agenda or off-agenda item number to be sent as follows. Email a comment to boardclerk@saccounty.gov and or mail a comment to 700 H Street, Suite 2450, Sacramento, California, 95814. And that concludes our announcements.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. And we will now move to matters not on the posted agenda. And I will call for off-agenda public comments.
And there's no one in the queue for off-agenda public comments or in chambers.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We will now move to consent matters, and I'm happy to entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second. We have a motion and a second. We don't need to do roll call, correct? We can just...
No, we can. Please vote.
We have our voting buttons.
Unanimous vote.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And so, let me turn a couple of pages here. All right, now we will move to discussion matters. And Madam Clerk, would you please call the first item?
Yes, Chair Spees. So, Directors, item number 6 will be your first discussion matter, and it's the approval of the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission Community Grant Program Ad Hoc Committee.
All righty. And Mr. Davison.
Good afternoon. I'm Bob Davison, your interim executive director, and I'm happy to present items on the agenda today. This item, actually at the last budget meeting in June, your board approved a community grant program / scholarship program. In the budget this year, $200,000 was allocated for community grants, which could be used by local organizations, general citizens, school kids, schools, others, for producing video content of the quality that could be on a PEG channel, educational content, community content, certainly a wide variety of content. And with that, there's $200,000 available with grants up to $50,000. And also, we have a $50,000 scholarship program. We're not giving one person $50,000, but $50,000 was allocated so students, people taking video production courses, people taking going to university that has video production classes can be used for tuition for those, and the cost of those schools and those classes. So with that, that was already done when the budget was approved. And since then, the program's been initiated. Actually, staff has let the community know through board members, through member agencies, through channel licensees, and through others, trying to get the information out there that there are these scholarships available. But with that, that's just a little bit of background, but because I believe this is going to be a successful program, and so we will start getting applications. Once the applications comes in, staff is going to screen those applications to make sure that they meet the requirements and such. But to that end, we are suggesting an ad hoc committee that can review the applications, the ones that are deemed applications that meet the requirements. And the purpose of this ad hoc committee would be to review the grants requests and applications and scholarship applications, and to recommend to the board which of those grants and scholarships should be approved. So with that, I recommend that you take action today and approve an ad hoc committee for the Community Grant Scholarship Program.
Okay, and did you have a sort of number that you were expecting? Probably at least 3, but less than quorum, right? So between 3 and 9, something like that? As if if 9 people are going to claw for it. Okay, so let me first go then to public comment and see if we have anyone signed up.
And no public comments.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so it is suggested that through consensus, we have nominations for our ad hoc committee. Who would like to be on this ad hoc committee? We're looking for 3, no more than 9.
Siri would like to be on the ad hoc committee.
I heard that.
She's not here today, but I'm
well.
certain. And I heard Porsche also would love to be on the ad hoc committee.
Well, let's go with folks who are present in the room because, okay, we have some hands
I'd
over
be
here.
pleased to serve on the committee.
Fantastic. Okay, so we have Director Sloan. Anyone else? How many hours or how long do you think this would take of someone's?
It's going to depend on how many applications we receive, but I imagine there will be at least 1 or 2 meetings that would be about an hour in length, and probably the applications will take 15 minutes to a half hour of a review time to come up to conclusions.
Okay.
So, I'm not expecting that we're going to get 100 applications. I'm certainly optimistic we'll get more than 2, for example. So,
Okay.
I would, so without knowing exactly how many applications, I think it's safe to say that the time obligation is probably 2 to 6 hours.
In a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, to each round, so 12, then 4 to 12 hours in a year.
Okay. Got it.
I just made that up, so.
Well, perfect. Well, what is it? Most statistics are made up anyway. 82.7% of statistics are made up. Okay, so I will volunteer because I know that I'm excited about doing it. Anyone else?
No, I'm serious. We'll put Siri. She'd like to do it.
You think so?
No, 100%.
All right. Well, we will verify with her if
You can
she's
verify with her.
actually interested.
She cannot wait.
All right. Well, remember, this is recorded and televised. She'll let you
I
know.
love you, Siri.
Okay.
Rancho.
All right. And one more as well. And my apologies. Vanessa. Yep. Thanks. Thank you. Yes. At least 3. Because. Yep. All right. So I think we've achieved consensus on that. So if there are no other comments, then we will move on to the next item, please, Madam Clerk.
So item number 7 is to adopt a resolution authorizing the issuance of a subpoena relating to a review of franchise and public education government fees paid by DirecTV Incorporated for the period of January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023.
Fantastic.
Josh Nelson is going to present this item.
Okay.
Mr. Nelson, please.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So as the Commission's aware, we receive franchise and PEG fees from holders of DIVCA video franchises within our jurisdiction. Those fees are paid on gross revenues, which is defined in the statute. As a regular practice, the Commission audits payments received from franchisees to verify that their calculations and definitions of gross revenues are consistent with the statute. We're currently in the process of auditing DirecTV through our outside auditor, Ashbaugh and Skolko. As part of that process, and prior to providing the information which gets into the details as to how those payments were made, we will enter into non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs, with the video service provider to make sure that information that they believe is confidential remains confidential. We are having a little bit of an issue as we work through that process with DirecTV, and they're taking the position that aggregated information, including their identity, is not something that can be disclosed publicly. We're doing everything we can to resolve this issue informally, and we'll continue to do so. However, because this commission meets on a quarterly basis and will not meet again for a number of months, we're asking that the commission consider issuing a subpoena to allow us to obtain the information from DirecTV if we're unable to resolve it informally. The item before you would allow staff to issue that subpoena, and we would report back to the commission as appropriate. Happy to answer any questions.
Fantastic. Let's first go to public comment. Anyone signed up?
No public comments.
Okay, I don't see any requests to speak. You got something?
I have a request to speak. So quick
Requested.
question.
There you go.
So is this something that has happened before? Is this commonplace when working with our partners this way, or?
It's a very good question, Commissioner Brown. No, with the exception that the commission will remember that prior to DirecTV, this individual video franchise was actually held by AT&T. As a practice, AT&T requested that we issue a subpoena prior to releasing the information for their internal organizational purposes, so we did it when AT&T held the franchise. However, we have audited DirecTV since the franchise was transferred to them, and they have not insisted on a subpoena. And we have never been required to subpoena Comcast or Consolidated when they held their franchise.
That makes sense. I'll motion to approve the subpoena.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second, and it'll come up here to vote here in just a moment. All right. Everyone voted?
Unanimous vote.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you very much. Would you please call the next item?
Yes, your item number 8 this afternoon is to adopt a resolution approving changes to the Administrative Services Officer 1 through 3 classification and pay ranges, and reclassifying the Administrative Services Officer 1 position to Administrative Services Officer 1 confidential position.
Okay, thank you. I'm assuming Mr. Davidson.
Yes, good afternoon again. I will try to take this one on. If you remember, again, at the budget meeting, we actually brought this item up and explained it and put money in the budget to cover this cost. Basically, and the only reason we didn't actually deliver it at the last meeting was there was some, because we live within the PERS organization, not Sacramento County Retirement or other retirements. There were some legal issues that we had to deal with to make sure we can do this reclassification. But anyway, we are recommending a reclassification to give a 5% adjusted salary to our ASO1, which will now be reclassified as ASO1 confidential. It's very similar to the County of Sacramento practice, where ASO1s can get a confidential status, and that comes with the 5% differential. We weren't, because of this CalPERS issues, we weren't able to do it with a differential, but we could accomplish this by doing this reclassification. What's going to do is, we are such a small office. We have an interim ASO3. We have an interim executive director. It really helps to be able to have, confidential information delegated down, and that's what this is about. So with that, I'm recommending the board adopt the attached resolution approving the changes to the ASO 1 to 3 classification and pay ranges, and 2, to reclassify the current Administrative Services Officer 1 position to an ASO 1 confidential position.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Davison. Do we have any public comment?
There are no public comments.
Okay, well, let me bring it back then to the commission for any questions, comments. Director Sloan.
I have a question. So the Administrative Service Officer 2 and 3 do not have confidential mechanisms with them?
They are confidential in
Inherently.
nature by
And-
what they are.
And I'm assuming this assists with budget development, other board items that are confidential until they're public?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
In the development of the board packet, I would assume it's helpful for you to have this position confidential since that's...
Yeah, it could be development of the board package. It could be seeing pay rates for people, paycheck data. I mean, there a lot of different confidential information, but certainly information of the type that often we have the SO3 do it because we have one position that handles confidential information.
Thank you for the clarification.
Fantastic. Do we have any other comments or questions? If not, I'm happy to entertain a motion.
I'll move.
Oh, we'll have,
I'll give you the motion. I got the
There
other
you
two. I'll second.
all righty. We have a motion and a second. The voting items will come up.
Okay, and for the record, there are no public comments. Please vote.
Oh, did I skip that? My apologies.
Unanimous vote.
Fantastic. All right, we will now move on to item number 9, please, Madam Clerk.
And so your item number 9 is to, and I'm going to read the abbreviated version of it, approve the fiscal year 2024 through 25 general fund and PEG fee fund final budgets to include, to include the following resolutions, attachments, and exhibits. Attachment 1, Attachment 2, Exhibit 1, 2, and 3, and Attachments 3 and 4.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Davison.
Sure, and the real short
This
version.
is difficult to figure out that you're the guy. You're the one presenting.
Right. That's right. And actually, the real short version is I am here to present the final budget for the general fund and the PEG fee fund for the 24-25 fiscal year. And with that, I do have a PowerPoint presentation. So I'll direct you to the screens.
Thank you.
So, and I know that we've told the board that we would keep you up to speed. We've been in the situation of declining revenue. In the past years, we've seen, we know that Consolidated, unfortunately, decided to not be a franchise anymore. They don't have a state franchise, and so their franchise fees and PEG fees are going away. AT&T has been shifting to DirecTV and their UVerse product. They still have it, and we're still getting franchise fees, but they are going down, and you've seen that over the years. Comcast has been relatively flat, and that's kept franchise fees at a certain level. You can see the peak of 14.33 million, and then the 14.26 was just after that, and then you can see where they went down for many years in the $12 million range. And last year, I think we had about $11 million in franchise fees. And today, I'm going to be recommending an adjustment of the proposed budget estimated franchise fee revenue at $9.4 million. I'm hoping I'm being conservative, but and I'll explain that to you. So in the 23-24 fiscal year, we get 4 payments from the franchises, and what we saw last year is we did see this decline. The quarter to quarter, we get, like I said, 4 payments. The quarter to quarter decline was just under 2% a quarter. The year to year decline for the 23-24 was about 9%. The bulk of that was AT&T and Consolidated. We were losing them there, and Comcast, their year to year did go down over 7%. Quarter to quarter, it was just about 1% a quarter. I'm sorry if that was a little bit confusing, but all the franchise fees together went down 9% from the previous fiscal year. That maybe is a little bit simpler to say it. So we did get the first quarter payments for the 24-25 fiscal year, and I'm not going to say it's a trend because it's a one-time, and I'll have you know that there will be times where quarter to quarter for Comcast, we had a 1% reduction. And then the second quarter, I think I'm talking about 23, 24, we had almost 4% reduction. And then we had two more 1% reductions after that, going quarter to quarter. Well, the first quarter of the franchise fees we just received are down 15% from the year before. A little bit lower than what I've seen in any of the quarters in the previous year. I'm sorry. So what we're seeing when I'm comparing the second quarter of 24, which is the first quarter of the fiscal year, from the year before, we had a change from last year's same quarter of negative 15%, and a quarter to quarter, which is the quarter immediately preceding the first quarter of this fiscal year, of negative 9% in franchise fees. And just to point out that Comcast quarter to quarter reduction was 8%, and that's a bit higher than they've been at in the past. So with that, I'm not trying to raise an alarm, but I am trying to point out that there may be some changing trends in the franchise fees, and where we've seen reductions, I don't know that we've seen reductions of this nature in a single quarter from Comcast. And if that's a continuing trend, that's something certainly we'll need to watch and keep the pulse of. But with that, I felt it was prudent to make a change in the budget and not have as optimistic of a revenue estimation.
Okay.
So that's the explanation I wanted to go through before I go through the numbers on the final budget.
Okay.
So with that, so the final budget, first of all, we made some changes to the revenues. We reduced the franchise fees estimate by $850,000. And so there's the $9.4 million I was talking about. At preliminary budget, we had $10.25 million estimate, and I just want to take it down to $9.4 million to be more conservative. The only thing being is if the member agencies count on the revenue and then we give them a lower check at the end of the year, they could be a little bit surprised. So I prefer to be a little conservative and hopefully give them more money at the end of the year than have it happen in the reverse way. We made some other changes to the revenue too. Buffers it a little bit. Interest rates are higher than we had been projecting just because of the current interest rate environment. Hopefully they'll go down from where they are now, but we are very comfortable, especially given the balances in the general fund, to increase the estimated interest from $100,000 to $200,000. Also, we trued up our fund balance to $2.344 million. That's just something we do every year. We actually see the Compass reports, see how much money actually we have in our fund balance, and it was really close to what we had assumed it would be at preliminary budget, and that's really good news. Otherwise, we'd be talking adjustments and such, and looks like we did the proper staff work there. And so now the final budget will true up to that fund balance. And then with that, those changes discussed above, total revenues were reduced by about $500,000. Mm-hmm. Oops. Okay. And then with that, wait a minute. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay. Yeah, total revenue was reduced by $523,000. So with that, we also have changes to our expenditures. So we know less franchise fees are coming in, but given that this is a budget, expenditures need to equal revenue. Because we had a $203,000 reduction in the revenues, we also have a $523,000 reduction in the expenditures. And the adjustments that were made were salaries and wages were reduced by $75,000. That was mainly, if you recall.
Can I interrupt you, sir?
Yeah.
Could you clarify whether the $75,000 reduction in salaries was to a single position or across vacant positions?
I think it was, thank you, Director Sloan, and I was actually about to add that in. In the proposed budget, we indicated that we might be bringing on the previous ASO 3 as a retired annuitant. I'm sorry to say that that's not going to work out. So the past AS03 is not going to come back. And well, I'm sad that we won't be able to utilize that expertise. We were able to make an adjustment in the budget to take care of that.
Okay. Okay. You good, Director Sloan? Yes, thank you. Okay.
We reduced services and supplies by $53,000. Increased the Sacramento County cost allocation $13,000 based upon the information that they provided to us. Don't have a lot of control over those allocated costs when we live within the county system. That's what we pay, and we just have that information, so we're able to fine-tune the budget with the more exact numbers. We reduced fixed assets by $20,000. It was related to a potential move and maybe some furniture that we need to buy that's at least delayed to the next fiscal year. So we reduced that by $20,000. And then we also reduced the contingency appropriation by $13,500. And contingency is really, we just we have contingency for other items, and oftentimes it's what's left over in the budget. And, in all the years I was executive director, we actually never even touched the contingency. So I don't want anybody to be alarmed that the contingency is going down a little bit. It's not a strategic number. It's more or less a math number that was in our budget.
Okay.
So with that brings us to the revenue distribution. So just so everybody remembers, the 2023 revenue distribution was $6 million. We started seeing reductions in franchise fees even below what was budgeted then. And that year, I think franchise fees came in $450,000 lower than what was budgeted. With that, though, we had other savings, and we were able to make our budgeted $6 million revenue distribution without actually lowering it, which would have been the case if there weren't any other changes that could have been made at that time. And that's what we're trying to avoid by adjusting the fund balance. I mean, the revenues down a little bit now, just so we don't get into that situation. So for 24-25, the proposed revenue distribution has been reduced by $370,000, and from $6.7 million to $6.3 million. And the reason it wasn't reduced by more is because of all the other changes that we made in the budget that buffered it a little bit. So the full $800,000 reduction in estimated franchise fees is not just going to the member agencies' revenue distributions. And that is the revenue distribution that's going to be paid in June of 2025. So, I don't really need to go through the individual numbers, but this just shows the breakdown of what we paid in 23-24 and what we're proposing for 24-25, given the changes that we just talked about. And you can see all the different member agencies and the amount of revenue distribution is being projected there. And the total is $3.6 million. And we will let member agencies know about this after this meeting if the board approves the final budget.
That's rather public now.
That's true. But however, the board may suggest changes to this item, so
absolutely.
we can never know for sure. But with that, this is just a picture of the budget and how the total expenditures of $12 million are to be spent. And I don't need to go into these individually. So then that brings us to the PEG fee. PEG fee revenue of almost 1.9 million is about the same at the proposed budget. I think we, for some reason, we actually had taken the PEG fees down more than we had taken the franchise fees down at proposed budget. I don't know why we did that. It might have been a mistake. Typically, you think if there was, franchise fees and PEG fees are, one's 5% of revenues, one's 1% of revenue. So if there's a 10% reduction in franchise fees, there's likely a 10% reduction in PEG fees. But for whatever reason, we had a little bit lower number, which now, so we don't have as big of an adjustment here. So I'm glad that we have that, and I'm sorry to say that we didn't have that trued up at proposed budget, but we do have that now. But with that, this $1.873 million in proposed PEG fees does track with the $9.4 million in franchise fees that we are proposing for the final budget at this time. So other changes to the PEG fee fund, we increased interest income by $45,000. The fund balance, just like we did on the general fund, was trued to just over $3 million. And we reduced member agency PEG funding, but it's only because of requests from the member agencies that were trued up and changed a little bit. So I think the County of Sacramento revised their PEG requests, and it just resulted in a different number. We actually had money, if the requests were higher, to cover that. And with all these changes, we reduced contingency from $279,000 to $135,000. And with that, the PEG fee fund was a little bit easier to scrub, given the reductions that we're seeing from the franchise and the PEG fee from the cable companies. And that's just a picture of the budget. So with that, staff recommended, and first of all, actually, I do want to thank our staff, Jillian, Kristen, and their staff. They work hard on the budget, and what you're seeing up there reflects all of their hard work. So thank you, guys. And with that, I recommend that the 24-25 final general fund budget, the 24-25 final PEG fee budget, that the board approve those budgets, including all the resolutions, attachments, exhibits, and agreements included in the 24-25 final budget staff report. And me, or more importantly, my staff are here to answer any questions if you have them.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Davison. Let me go out and ask Madam Clerk if you have anyone that signed up.
And no one signed up.
Fantastic. All right. Well, then we will bring it back to the commission. Are there any questions related to the budget? If there are no...
I'd like to thank staff, and I'd like to thank our executive director for explaining the reduction in fees. This is an area that we may continue to see a pattern, so I think it's important that we be on top of it. So thank you very much. And with that, I would move, if there isn't any other discussion, passage of the budget.
I'll second.
All right. Before we do that, I also want to make sure that I thank Mr. Davison and cable staff. It is always, budgets are the lifeblood of any agency, any organization, and it's always a fun drill to get them, and I say fun with air quotes, to get them done, and I really appreciate the effort that you put into it, and it's never fun to see a declining revenue. We recognize, of course, that is an industry issue. It isn't specifically ours, but we know that it does have an impact on us, and we'll be looking to see what we can do to buffer against that over time. So I have a motion and a second, so if we could vote, please.
Please vote. Unanimous vote.
Awesome. That's great. I appreciate that. So we have section 3 done, and so we'll now move to separate matters. So, Madam Clerk, item 10.
So your item 10 is to receive and file reports of channel licensees.
Okay, I have 3 speakers signed up, and so if I could please first call Mr. Ron Herman.
Thank you. I'd like to start off by, first of all, thanking the executive directors, Bob, Jillian, and Joshua, for the work that they've been doing to help us with our funding this year. That's wonderful. In terms of a report, I'd also like to report for the first time since I've been here, 17 years at SAC Live, SAC Faith TV, that this last quarter we've been working with Access Sacramento. It's the first time that 2 PEG stations that I know have been working in unison. We've been working with each other's resources to help keep our budgeting down and also help each other with equipment and manpower. And together we've found it to be a real good team. We have just finished our first season. We've created a show called the Powerhouse Podcast, which is also a television show that airs on both SAC Live TV and Access. And the host of that show brings in and addresses matters that are important to our community. Some of the matters we've already covered is crime, homelessness, trafficking. We've talked with Topo Padilla about bail reform, and not only that, but a week after we talked with him about bail reform is when there was a murder you may have heard in his at his bail agency, and we had him in for a follow-up on that. Everything that we cover is deep, and I'd like to just, as a disclaimer, if any of our guests lean to the right or to the left, we definitely make this program open, and anybody who wants to go to info@SacLive TV can do an opposite or opposing view, and we'll have that guest on. This is a really good show. We touch topics that most people don't want to touch, and we've already been banned from TikTok for talking about our gun issue on one of those things. And I think that's a good thing if we're poking the bear in the right places. We've done 21 episodes of that so far, and it's turned out really good. We're looking forward to working with Access next year to do the same. Another program that we're working with the budgeting that we've gotten this year is we've put $10,000 aside for our community outreach. When we go out and do community events, it's just not, hey, this is a fun and good thing going on. We get behind the reason for that community event. A good example of this is this last year, 2 weeks ago, we had the rib cook-off up in Auburn. So we went up with our cameras, we filmed that, we showed the fun, but then we sat down with the behind the scenes. Why are they doing a rib cook-off? It was for Crime Victims United. We talked to the nonprofit that sponsored the monies go to that, what their place in the community is, how they're helping the crime victims, and so on and so forth. This next week, we have our own event. For the first time, SacLive TV is sponsoring its own event. We've teamed up with Celebrate Recovery out at Folsom Bayside, and we have a car show and concert, but the monies to that will go to help both SacLive TV and for that organization, the Celebrate Recovery. Since funding is coming forward there, I'm going to put this back in your place. Funding is opened up for me in that first section of us for community events. You're the community. You are the leaders of our different areas of Sacramento. I count on you to be our eyes. I have now been granted the money to tell your story. If your communities have events like the ones I've just talked about, I urge you to contact me and let me know what's going on so I can spend that money wisely to tell your story and what's going on in each of your communities. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Mr. Herman. Appreciate it. And I'm really glad to hear that we've found collaborative ways to move forward and doing good stuff out there. So,
last thing I'd like to leave is I'm going to leave these up front, up there. If anybody would like to come to the car show and the community event that we're pulling next Tuesday in Bayside, please come by for either political reasons so we can get your name out there, or see what we're doing here so you can see if it's the kind of event we're doing that you'd be interested in doing in your community. We'll come out and cover it. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Any other comments? We're good? Okay. Thank you very much. And so next we will move to Ms. Rhodes of SECC, please.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Our school year is off to an incredible start. We're super excited to be back. I sent out an email to you all in the beginning. Our local news channels are creating great relationships with our SIVA studios. So we are seeing a lot of visits. The one that I shared out was Good Day came out to Sunrise Elementary School. They have a very dynamic partnership going on there where even the student got to be on the air for the news program. So we're excited to see those continue to grow and expand over the next couple of months. I also want to thank Lisa Nava for coming out to one of our school sites, following up on that email. Again, we always make the offer, but would love for you to come out and see these students and see the equipment that you're putting in their hands. We talk about all the time, each program is unique to that school site and to that school needs. No two programs are the same. So would love for you to come out and see something in your own area. If you'd like, we have elementary all the way through high school. The other thing is we just closed our grant request for the fall. We had 13 grant requests for equipment, which is double what we normally have. So it's really exciting to see those numbers grow and change. We had 5 new programs, including 2 schools in Sac City, which is really exciting for us. That's been a little bit of a slower district, so to see growth there is tremendous. We also are just releasing our new season of SIVA TV, so that is all of the content that didn't necessarily get highlighted at our award ceremony last year. We still want to make sure that those student videos are showed on the channel, so we create SIVA TV, which are episodes that have student producer interviews. We show behind the scenes of them filming their videos. So those are released every week. We also, as a staff, were invited out to SCOE's Teacher of the Year event, where 2 of our SIVA teachers were selected from their districts to represent, which was incredible. And our Henderson winners, who was like our main teacher that we highlighted last year at the SIVAs, was was actually selected as one of the 2 teachers from the county to move on to the regional competition for Teacher of the Year. So that was awesome to see him being recognized as well. And then finally, we have our SIVA Fest events. So those are where we go out into the community. We invite students and their families to come out to events that maybe they wouldn't have the opportunity to attend otherwise. We did the Capitol Air Show in July, which was a little toasty, if you can imagine, May 3rd in July. A little warm, but we have the Sac Republic game coming up on September 29th. We have over 50 students that are participating in this year, so that's going to be awesome. Again, just that opportunity for students to go out. They get press credentials. They get to stand on the sidelines where the press stands. They get to do after game interviews with the team. It's awesome. It's super cute to see them. They get little jerseys that they get to wear, so we're super excited for that. We also have a video that just highlights some of those, so if we could play that.
SIVA TV is back for Season 7. The Student Educational Video Award, or SIVA, is a year-round program for K through 20 students, sponsored by the Sacramento Educational Cable Consortium. Throughout the year, students from the Sacramento area share their amazing videos and showcase their skills. On SIVA TV, we're highlighting unique and creative videos from this year. These young video producers use their interest, knowledge, and creativity to create some awesome videos. Not only are we featuring incredible videos made by local students, we're also giving you the behind-the-scenes look at how these ideas come to life through one-on-one producer interviews. Make sure to tune in every Monday and Friday at 11:30 a.m. starting August 19th on Channel 15 to catch new episodes of SIVA TV. And get ready to be inspired by Sacramento's future filmmakers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Layla Boyd, and I am a 7th grader at Pinkerton Middle School. It is my honor to be here today to introduce you to Miss Lori Osborne. Miss Osborne was my 6th grade teacher last school year, and I can confidently say that Miss Osborne is one of the most inspirational role models I have ever encountered. For example, she envisioned and brought to life the Film Crew Project. Under her guidance, we have created multiple instructional videos for the students at Zender Ranch Elementary. We have entered our work in the SECC SIVA Awards, and we even had a chance to go to the KCRA3 News Studio for a tour. Being a part of Miss Osborne's film crew has taught me invaluable life lessons in teamwork, collaboration, leadership, while also igniting a future career in education. It is my honor to stand up here today and introduce you to Miss Lori Osborne for Elk Grove Unified School District Teacher of the Year.
We are having a little over 30 students here today, learning how to put together a video using our platform.
Getting out and being able to videotape for real-world experience feels like an opportunity that is once in a lifetime.
Experiences like this really help me know where I want to go with my career and if this is something I really want to do.
SIVA Fest has been a great opportunity for my students to get involved with media through SECC.
I'm happy that we have a program like SIVA Fest to be able to do all these things.
That's it.
Oh.
That's all I got.
That's it? Okay. Fantastic. So wait right there because I think we've got some, if someone would like to speak, if they could do me a favor and use the request to speak button so that I can see. Yes. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Jessica, thank you so much. I literally just went out there yesterday. So I went to Heron School in Natomas and got to sit in on a middle school class. It's Charles King, right? Mm-hmm. His media class, and it was pretty cool. We got to see all the equipment that was purchased with the help of the commission and see the students kind of brainstorming, saw some footage they did. So I would highly recommend that if there is a school in your district somewhere that you want to see, that you take her up on it. The links that she provided in her email to all of us are adorable as well. So just want to encourage you because it just kind of connects the dots for us of what we're doing, and to see these kids getting into this industry at this age is really impressive. So just a couple words of encouragement.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jessica.
Do we have anyone else with a request to speak? No? Okay, so what I think is really pretty cool about what I saw there is not only, I mean, so the Sacramento Republic that's an interesting tapestry to do artwork on, basically, right? But also for me, I love to see the A10 at the air show, and I think it's really cool that kids get an opportunity to go out there and check that out. Now, last year, I found, well, maybe I wasn't paying attention, so I'll say that maybe I wasn't paying attention. But coming up again this year will be the SEVA Awards. Do you know what date that is, so everybody can put it on their calendar? Because I'm telling you, if you have never had the experience or the opportunity to go, you need to go. Because it kind of puts this all into perspective of some of the really good things that we do. I mean, we get here and we talk about budget, and we talk about all this, sorry, Mr. Davison, boring stuff, right? But what we're doing is actually, through our partners, doing some really good things for the community. So the date is?
Hopefully April 27th. I emailed Hiram Johnson. They don't open their reservation system until December, but we try to come in the back door and ask for favors because we want to get the date out there. Not like that, Kevin.
Well, wait. Hey.
But yeah, so the tentative date is April 27th. As soon as it's confirmed, I'm working with their facilities management team, so we're hoping to get that date confirmed within the next week or two. I will make sure to email it out to you all so that you can add it to your calendars. But yeah, we would love to have you.
It is truly a joyful opportunity, so thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, and next we have Mr. David Lowe of KVIE. Sir.
Thank you. I was telling Jessica I was hopeful you would call me before you called on her because I knew she'd have a video about kids. It's always tough to go after. I know there's not a microphone back here, but I want you to know she snickered at me when she got up. So just.
I did see that. I was wondering what the joke was.
Congratulations,
well, do you have maybe
my
some
fellow licensee.
If you don't have the children, perhaps you have puppies.
I should next time. Next time
Okay,
I will have
all right,
puppies.
next time
I just
puppies.
have two brief announcements about some production-related events that we're doing. One is the KVIE Art Auction. It celebrates artists of the region. They donate their works of art. They get some publicity around that. We get a donation when people bid on it. That artwork of 270 artists is already on display at KVIE Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You can come see it. The collection will come down on the 25th, and then a few days later we will do the final bids on air over a 3-day live production. And then we are partnering with the Sacramento Bee on October 23rd. There will be a Sacramento City mayoral debate. Again, October 23rd, it will live stream on the Bee's website at 2 o'clock, and KVIE will broadcast it at 7 p.m. That is all, and thanks as always for your support.
Okay, I do have a quick question. How many years has the art auction been going on? I mean, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm about 56 years old, but I remember as a kid that it was going on a long, long time ago. So
your memories
I'm putting you on the spot.
No, well, your memories are accurate. I don't know the exact date, but I can tell you that we were the second auction ever in PBS across the nation, and we are the longest auction nationally. And so we've been going for a very long time. Fun fact, the art auction wasn't always on TV. So during the early years, when we had some regular things, you can get a garden hose, you can do whatever to support KVIE, and there was art, it didn't work. Anyone know why? Black and white television. That art did not show that well. But thankfully, with the advent of color, now it's just all art. And again, celebrates the artists of the region, and it's really fun just to see all the pieces from the foothills to the Sacramento, the Tower Bridge and everything in between.
Well, I wasn't around for black and white, but probably at the tail end of it, I guess.
I was around for a little bit of it based on the amount of money your television cost, but I do remember the dials that went like that.
Absolutely. That's when children were the remote control.
Yes. Usually the younger kid who had to hold the piece of tinfoil as well.
Absolutely. Okay, do we have any other requests to speak from anyone? I see nothing. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. All right, and so next item, please.
And
Madam Clerk.
so, for the record, there are no public comments, and your next item is item number 11, to receive and file reports of state franchisees. And I don't have any slips.
And we don't
no
have
one on
any,
the-
I don't believe we have any in the room.
No,
And so
none
no
on the phone.
public comment on that either,
No
I'm
public
assuming.
comments on the phone.
Fantastic. Okay. And so we will then move next to item 12, Madam Clerk.
So item number 12 is the Executive Director Report of General Administration Activities.
Okay,
Mr.
Executive
Davidson.
Director report, I guess that's me, so I will go through this rather quickly, I think. First, I want to talk about operations and personnel. So first of all, I'm going to ask Jonathan Hart to step up to the podium. If you recall at the budget meeting, we asked for approval for a senior office assistant. Jonathan actually had been with us since October as a temp and was very good, done very well, I'll say. And so with that, we've brought him on now as a full-time commission employee. And that, I think we started you just in August, right? Yeah. So with that, maybe you can tell the board a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Jonathan. I actually started temping with the county about a year ago. I was with the clerk of the board for a week, and then I've been with the Cable Commission ever since, and I'm happy to be there. I'm a senior office assistant, so I help on the administration side, getting bills processed and all that. I also get to work on special projects sometimes, so that feeds my creative side. Yeah, I like to write, and I like to read, and that's me.
Fantastic. Well, welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'll be talking about the newsletter in a little bit, but he was a big help on the newsletter.
Awesome.
He has some skills there in the desktop publishing.
Fantastic.
So with that, I just want to mention they're not here today. They're production assistants, but we have brought on 2 production assistants. Patrick Roche, he started in August of 24. He's a seasoned video production project manager, coordinator, and video editor. He also works as a freelancer when he's not working for Metro 14. And then Michael Johnson is as a senior production assistant. He also started in August of 24. He does have a full-time state job doing broadcast production and has background in television engineering and has experience with government TV from San Jose, Create TV in San Jose before he came to us. So would like to welcome them aboard, even though you can't see them because they're not here, but I'm sure they're watching on Metro 14.
Welcome, wherever the camera is there.
The executive director recruitment, I'm going to ask Josh to summarize the open session discussion of that.
Sure. Thanks, Bob. So the ad hoc committee is currently interviewing candidates, and staff really appreciates the efforts of the chair and directors Chaman-Charla and Sloan through those processes, and we'll be providing an update to the board in closed session. And we do not anticipate action on item 15 this afternoon, but hope that the ad hoc will be able to make a recommendation to the board shortly.
Right. And so I'll piggyback on that real quick. So if everybody could please do your best to be available for the closed session today. So we're working on getting there as quickly as possibly as we can. So thank you, Mr. Nelson.
Okay. Next item is status of audits. We have 2 franchises that we're going through audits on. You heard about the subpoena issue, so we're going to, hopefully the subpoena will get that going and we can get the DirecTV audit going. We've been doing an audit of Comcast. I don't know if it'll be ready for the next meeting or not. I know there's some issues. In fact, maybe found a little more revenue, not probably enough that's going to change the trajectory that we're seeing in the exhibits, but there's some areas that look like maybe they should be paying franchise fees that aren't, and our auditor is working with Comcast staff on that. So that will hopefully be at the November meeting, but if not, in January. And then also there's a commission audit that's been going on that, again, it's almost done, so it could be at the November meeting, and if not, it will certainly probably be in the January meeting. And that's an audit where our auditors audit our own commission, so that we're spending money right and, that we're all transparent. So, again, hopefully that'll be back soon. And then the trends, so franchise and PEG fee trends, there's nothing more I think I need to say about that. I think I covered that pretty clearly in the budget staff report. When I created the agenda, I wasn't sure how much I was going to talk during the budget staff report, but I think it gave you a full presentation there. And as far as Cable Commission marketing and outreach, and I know this has been a discussion at meetings about doing better with our outreach and our marketing. Sorry about that. So, and I just do want to point out that we have created a newsletter, and I've left it up to the dais. This is our first crack at it, I think. And I want to thank Jillian, her staff, and especially Jonathan, who brought some skills in, was able to make this look, I think, pretty professional. And this is, we're calling it issue 1, so it's not going to be the last one. And there's probably other things we want to cover, and maybe we'll cover the winners of the grants and such in the future. Maybe dive deeper into channel licensees, and the different PEG channels. But with this, we wanted to kind of cover who we are. Just some people don't know who we are. Discuss cable complaints. That's a lot of member agencies, and your staffs want to know, where to send people when there's a cable complaint. Just letting people know what the PEG channels are. And then on the backside, the grant program and the application deadlines and such information on the grant program. So, and again, thanks for the board direction to try to do more things like this. I think this is a good start.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So with that, I want to ask Kristen Riggs to come up to the podium now, and she has a few items in staff status that she would like to share with you.
Okay.
Thanks, Lydia. Good afternoon, everybody. Kristen Riggs, Production Director, Metro Cable 14. During the March meeting, the board encouraged us to get ourselves out there a little bit and promote the commission and promote Metro Cable 14. So I have a PowerPoint. I just want to show you a few things that we've been working on. And the idea is to bring awareness to viewers who may not know the purpose of the commission or Metro 14. So to bring some awareness. So Metro staff provided input on which, these are basically for bulletin board slides. We can share it on social media. Dallin Swenson and Zach Hensel created the still graphics. Dallin also edited together a little 30-minute cable complaint video, and I will show you that in a second. So this is just the first one. Some people don't know who the member agencies are, so we thought we'd just create a simple slide on that and run it on our bulletin board. And then this is something that we need to do more. Just, thanks everybody for watching. And some people don't know what all the channels are, what the community channels are. So we'll be doing more of these types of things. And then this is the public service announcement for cable complaints. So please let us know if we're on the right track with this. We know that the grant program needs to be promoted also, so we'll create some, definitely some slides and hopefully some more videos. So if you have any burning topics you want us to get out there, please let me know. I just want to tell you also about something that we did for the second year. Metro Cable staff and some of the commission staff also helped with Summer at City Hall. Some of you might not know what that is, but that's a program that Sac City puts on every summer where students come in and they learn about local government, all aspects of local government. So we invited about 80 students in total to come on over here and learn about what we do, see our control room in action. We put on mock meetings. They learned how to edit and upload YouTube video. And the goal for the students at Summer at City Hall is they all present to Sac City Council during a board meeting. So they have group projects that they work on the entire summer, and they work pretty hard. It's 4 days a week, all day. So it was fun having them over here, and we hope to continue doing that with them. And they got to see, what types of opportunities there are in local government. So it opened their eyes to who the commission is and all other parts of government. Also, we have election forums coming up this Friday. There's two of them. We're hosting the Sacramento City, or we're co-hosting. The moderators of the forums are the League of Women Voters of Sacramento County. So it's the Sacramento City Mayor contest at 10 a.m. Friday the 20th. And then at 11:30, it's Sacramento City Council District 2. So those are the two forums that we will be broadcasting. And if you don't catch it live, it will end up on demand on our YouTube channel. And one final thing, I'm still working on the cable casting fees. I was before you in June, and I mentioned that I have gotten the replies back from the agencies, polling them as to how an increase in fees would affect them. And from what I gathered from the board and the agencies is we're to forge ahead and figure out a way to get close to actual cost recovery, but something that's administratively easy. So I'm going to come back in November and have a proposal for you, but that is all I have today.
All right. November's shaping up to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to November. And so any requests to speak? Anyone want to talk? We good?
I do want to just cover two more.
Oh, I'm
items
sorry.
quickly.
I spoke right over you. Sorry. You got two more things.
No, you're good. I'll make it quick. I wanted to announce that Metro Cable is going to start showing the Folsom Cordova Unified School District meetings, and there's an agreement, and it's just about ready to be signed. I plan to sign it when it's ready, and then report it to you all at the next meeting, which is in my signature authority. And unfortunately, YK Chalmsherla has a family issue going on. Otherwise, he would be here. That's, I know, something that he'd been working on, and talking about and discussing for a long time. And I know that he will be happy that that is going forward. So just want to point that out since he's not here. And then also, I did mention with the grant program item that the grant program is up and running. It's live on our website, and communication has been sent to board members, member agencies, and channel licensees. And anybody watching, please submit those grants and scholarship applications.
Awesome.
That could be a PSA.
There you go. So. I like it. Another 30-second PSA. Let's do it. Okay. Does anyone have a request to speak? Anything to add? Mr. Davison, thank you very much. I appreciate the update. Some really good things. I'm really happy. Believe it or not, before I got onto the commission, I really didn't know that the commission existed or what it did, and I think it's helpful for people who are passing through and looking at this exciting programming that they they go, oh, the commission is there to actually assist us in matters that we need help resolving. So I want to thank you for that. Sure, really appreciate it. Okay, so if we have no other comments, then yes, ma'am.
And for the record, there are no public comments.
Oh, there's that.
Item.
No public comments.
Got to get that in there.
All righty. So then we'll next move to item 13, which is?
Is Board of Director comments, reports, and updates.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me look down the ways here, see if anyone has any comments or questions or ideas. Before we go to closed session, I want to thank staff and Mr. Davison very much for what I wouldn't call it a fire drill because there wasn't a fire, but for moving heavens and earth to make an interview available today. And I know that it's always fun trying to get prepared for this event. And so moving that around, and I really appreciate, and the rest of the ad hoc committee certainly appreciates that. And I understand the clerk's office as well is fantastic in helping make this happen. So thank you very much to all. So with Oops. Oh, you weren't saying hi, me. You were saying I got something to say. Okay.
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we move forward to closed session, we need to take a vote on dropping item 15.
Oh.
Or we
okay.
can do it after, but I don't think everyone will be here. For the record, yeah.
Okay. So we will not be taking action on item 15 today. And so I would ask for a motion.
Second.
Got a motion.
I'm sorry, who was the?
Keaton.
Oh, Keaton, thank you.
So we have a motion and a second, and all those in favor, please vote.
Okay.
Well, I guess if you're not in favor, please vote too.
Okay. Unanimous vote. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. And so with that, we will go to closed session. And to be clear, we will not need all of the directors to come back. I will come back and adjourn the meeting, correct?
That's correct. Correct. Thank you, Chair.
Fantastic. So again, thank you much to cable staff. Thank you to our partners for being here. And we're going into closed session.